Welcome to the Book Drop. I'm Matthew Kocienda. I work at the Marlborough Library over on 35 West Main Street, open 9 to 8 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 Friday and Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sundays. We'll also be closed Monday the 13th for Indigenous Peoples Day. So, with 1 year down of the show, we thought we'd change some things up a little bit. I have a new do, as you can see. It wasn't a haircut, I fell into a wood chipper, but they did a pretty good job. You may also notice that we have a new theme song, written by yours truly. So I hope you come in the library and sing it right to me. Thank you. Donation days. Donations occur on the first Wednesday and third Saturday of every month. For this month, those days will be the 1st from 12 to 2 and the 18th from 10 to 2. Donations are collected by the Friends of the Library on the second floor right by the welcome desk. Programs. Saturday the 11th at 2, we have a screening for the documentary Join or Die about the work of Robert Putnam, exploring how social connection, community involvement, and civic engagement across cultures, generations, and traditions supports individual well-being and builds a more united, equitable society. We hope this to be a cross-cultural event, and the film will have Portuguese subtitles. Tuesday the 14th at 4:30, we have Myth and Memory Watercolor Workshop inspired by Andean folklore. Local artist Samela St. Pierre invites teens to learn about South American art, connect with their own culture with color and imagination in a relaxed, welcoming environment. Saturday the 25th at 1, we have a Demystifying Shakespeare through Performance program, who will be covering Macbeth. Volunteers can come up and perform scenes using cue scripts. After Shakespeare, why not shake in fear with the Juice and Jelly Funtime Band Halloween show at 3:30, also on Saturday the 25th. The Juice and Jelly Funtime Band are a 3-piece band based in Northampton, Massachusetts, who play original music written for kids and their families. There will be plenty of dancing, singing, and funny skits. Kids are encouraged to dress up in their Halloween costumes, and they will receive candy and a take-home craft. Wednesday the 29th at 6, we have This Is Halloween, Mind Reading and Magic Show. Join Greg Dwyer for an unforgettable evening that blends history, mystery, and mesmerizing moments. Discover the true origins of Halloween while witnessing incredible feats of mentalism and magic that will leave you questioning what's real and what's illusion. Adult book clubs. The Sci-Fi and Fantasy Book Club, Undiscovered Realms, will be discussing Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell on the 1st at 6:30, an LGBTQ space opera romance where the disreputable Prince Keem is forced into a arranged marriage with Count Janin, the widower of his deceased cousin. When it comes to light that Prince Tam's death may not have been an accident and that Janin himself may be a suspect, the unlikely pair must overcome their misgivings and learn to trust another while managing the political crisis. Next month's book is The Goblin King by Catherine Addison. The Adult Book Club will be meeting on Tuesday the 14th at 6 and Thursday the 16th at 11 to discuss The Foxwife by Yang Shi Chu. Taking place in early 1900s Manchuria, The Foxwife follows Boa, an old detective trying to find the identity of a deceased woman and a mysterious woman named Snow who's tracking down a Mongolian photographer. It deals with themes of grief and second chances. The Pride Book Club will be meeting on Monday the 6th at 6 to discuss Never Whistle at Night, an Indigenous dark fiction anthology. Many Indigenous people believe that one should never whistle at night as it can cause evil spirits to appear and follow you home. These stories are a celebration of Indigenous people's survival and imagination, reveling in all things an ill-advised whistle might summon. The Horror Book Club High Strangeness will be meeting on Wednesday the 22nd at 6:30 to discuss Livona by Otessa Moshfegh, a grim medieval folk horror about a deformed shepherd boy in a famine-stricken village who becomes entangled in the depraved power struggles of the land's cruel lord, leading to a rise of occult forces that upset the established order and blur the lines between the natural and spiritual worlds. Children's book clubs. The Dewey Decimators will be meeting on Thursday the 23rd at 6 to discuss The Misfits, a royal conundrum by Lisa Yee with art by Dan Santet. The Book Bunch will be meeting on Wednesday the 22nd at 4 to discuss Max and Zoe, The Lunchroom Fight by Shelley Swanson Saturn, illustrated by Mary Sullivan. It is the one year anniversary of the book drop. I want to thank everyone who contributes so much to the show: Sarah, Kara, Matt, Caitlin, Garrett, and everyone else for helping make this what it is. Matt and I sat down to talk a bit about the behind the scenes of the book drop, the fun moments and challenges faced over the year. I also sat down with our wonderful producer, Garrett. Enjoy.
1 year of the book drop.
1 year of the book drop, yep.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I remember when so I guess I'll explain the way that I sort of got the TV show going is some of my friends who work in public access, I was talking to them.
Friends.
At the time, they were just my friends. I was talking to them about just wanting to do stuff with public access, and they were like, well, you work at the library, you should just like do a library show. And I was like, that's so smart. So it was not my idea. And so I took that idea.
Right.
And then I decided to kind of figure some stuff out when I brought it up to our library director, Sarah. And she basically asked me, she was like, all right, if you can plan 6 months of episodes, that'll show me that you have enough material to do like a monthly thing and keep it going. So that was the first thing I did, just get a very, very basic outline. I made like a slideshow and everything, and then my phone didn't work, so I didn't have to do the slideshow, so it was all for nothing. And I actually went in kind of trying to be a bit like more low-key about what the show would be. Like I was very much stressing the educational portion of it, which is incredibly important. But I didn't mention anything like, oh, I want to like, I don't know, fall off a chair in an episode or, you know, whatever it is. But she immediately was like, oh, you should do this, this, and this. And I was like, oh, okay, you're totally on board for this.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Sarah's been our biggest supporter.
Oh,
one of our biggest supporters.
One of our biggest supporters. She's been incredibly supportive for sure.
Staying late after work to help us film.
Yeah.
Pitching ideas. What is public access?
So public access PA is basically a form of television that's not through a large network or something. So specifically in Massachusetts, they're all over the country, but Massachusetts is like, they have a lot more money allocated for them. So each town usually will have a public access station, and they focus on local events, interviewing people from the town, just little like news stories, and then people from the town themselves can go in and make a show. And they basically have to air it. Like that's kind of the rule. So anyone who wants to be on TV, regardless of if your idea is bad or good, you could do it.
Yeah.
Which
has been really fun for us, I think, because we're sort of unconstrained in what we can make, and I think the show has dabbled in many various forms.
Yes,
existence.
for sure. Yeah, no, we have a lot of. We could do a lot of stuff on the show that I didn't think would be possible, which is very fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's cool to still have a medium that is unconstrained like that.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think public access is incredibly important for anyone to have the ability to be able to share what they want, you know, be creative, do something that's important to them.
So it's been a year. How did it start specifically? I know we pitched it to Sarah. You pitched it to Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah approved it.
Yeah. I guess what happened after the point of me getting everything approved. So at the beginning, it was just me working on everything. So I was
for like 2 months, 3 months.
3 months. I want to say it was 3 months. October, November, December.
I started working in December.
Yeah, I think maybe
just
late.
like little stuff.
Yeah, I think you grabbed some like program graphics.
I was doing the graphics for the end of the show for the awards. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. No, you're right. But yeah, up until that point, I was doing pretty much all of it, and it was really fun. But it was so much work because in addition to like having everything written down, being able to also go and film it and having like to memorize enough of it, because at first we didn't have a teleprompter when we first started, so I had to like memorize a good amount, and I just had like bullet points on my sheet. Getting interviews with people, there was a lot that I had to do, you know. And it was fun. I mean, it was incredibly fun. I was able to do things in the library that I didn't think I'd be able to do. Like I remember writing jokes. I think when I was writing all the joke categories. Not joke categories. All the books that earned those categories fair and square. But when I was writing those, I was like,
you had fun with it.
Yeah, I had fun with it. Yeah, and I was like, I'm doing this on the clock, and like I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun. It's a very cool. I'm very lucky to have this opportunity that I can do something like this, where it wasn't even. I mean, we didn't have a show. Like I, made the position, quote unquote, for myself.
Right.
So.
And I think the earlier shows really cemented the format that the show would retain.
Yeah.
Even though it was just you kind of like doing everything.
Yeah, we've definitely added and messed around with the format.
Refined it.
Yeah. But the general pacing of the episode and like all of that is very much exactly how I put it.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I think.
Yeah. And then you realized.
Yeah, and then I got to a certain point where I was like, you know what? It would be so cool if I didn't have to do everything. So I grabbed some people. I grabbed you, Caitlin, who's not here right now. She's lovely. She also talked about wanting to do stuff on the show. And then I brought you guys in. At first, like, it was kind of a slow start where we tried to figure out what everyone sort of wanted to do. And I also wanted to make sure that not that it's a super complicated thing, but like you understood the tone I was going for, I guess, because it is very silly and goofy, which I love, but it's also educational. Like I think that's a very important part, that it's informative.
Yes.
So I just was like, okay, we got to make sure that we can get that balance right.
Yes.
And obviously I wanted you guys to be able to tell me whatever you want. I mean, you guys pitched a lot of ideas. The dating show was Caitlin's idea, like all hers. You know, it was great. You've pitched the what was it? The comments from patrons.
Yeah, the advice column.
The advice column. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we wrote the May episode, which was breaking out of jail, sort of.
Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, you've been generous with listening to our ideas.
Of course. I mean, I want to. It's not. I mean, I guess I have the final say on everything that goes, but I would never want this to be like, okay, it's just me. I'm just going to tell you guys what to do, and you just do that. Like, I want you guys to have creative freedom in this, you know.
And I think definitely those first 3 months we kind of like figured out a really good formula, and kind of, you know, everybody had like kind of fit into their role in the production. Obviously we have Wednesdays together, which we did a lot of like brainstorming and coming up with bits. And then I guess it was the May episode was when the studio closed.
Yeah, so the public access studio got a huge rehaul, basically. And for that whole month, 2 months, at least a month and a half.
It was 3 months, brother.
It was 3 months?
It was May, June, July.
Yes, you're right. So for 3 months, we couldn't film in the studio, which was really rough.
Yeah. Not only that, but we were also editing everything.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah, I had to get IT to install editing software on one of the computers.
Yeah.
It was a long process to get everything like figured out.
And I had never video edited before.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I guess to explain. Yeah, I've had some editing experience and film experience before this, which helped me make it faster, and to like, you know, answer questions. But yeah, it was your first time doing a lot of it.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
It's I find it to be really enjoyable and sort of meditative.
Yes, definitely is.
And then it's really fun to see how it all fits together, and you're like, okay, like this is the episode.
Yeah, once you get like a final cut, you can feel it click when you watch it. It's very exciting. Yeah, for sure.
And I always like to bring it up because it's kind of surreal that like that's so far out of what a normal library circulation position is.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I think that's just a testament to Sarah and Kara, our circulation manager.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Who runs our fan club.
Yes,
and has been super flexible.
Oh,
and like
incredibly so.
Not just flexible, but like encouraging of like, take this 2 hours and use it to, to work on the show.
I believe she was the one who came up to us and was like, hey, instead of just when you have the available time, I will put specific hours for the show. So when the studio was closed, it was specifically the studio part of the public access station. The public access station as a whole wasn't shut down.
Right.
So like the offices were still there. So we were still able to talk to our contact over at public access, Garrett. He helps produce, and he's again also been everyone who has helped has been like monumental at putting their mark on the show.
Garrett is the main producer at I forget the acronym.
WMCT-TV?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yes. He edits everything mostly.
Yes.
When we're not, we sort of edit our own little fun bits.
Yeah, the bits at the library are usually us, and then he does all the studio bits.
The studio bits. And yeah, Garrett's incredible, always super flexible also.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly generous with the equipment.
Yes.
Which kind of semi-lives here in the library.
We've had it for a little bit longer than I think they would have liked. But they also understand, so no, he's been great, and I remember especially in those first 3 months when it was just me and him having the back and forth, and before we really started doing like editing meetings, he would send me like the final cuts, and he'd be like, "What do you think about this?" And even if it wasn't like a mistake, if I was just like, "Oh, I want this like sound effect here, or this little goofy thing, or whatever, have it," he was like, "Sure, awesome," and he'd make the changes, which is awesome. And he would also put his own mark into things, I remember.
Yeah, he contributes a lot of fun ideas. I remember it was when we were doing the TikTok bits. I forget what episode it was.
He got the overlay.
And he got the
overlay to be like, it looks like a TikTok live.
And it looked really good.
It looks great. No, that was a great idea. That was so funny. So he's been, all of them have been super, super nice.
Everybody. Yeah. Everybody who is acting in our videos.
Yeah.
Lena.
Oh, yeah.
Danielle, Caitlin.
Yes.
We're all in the videos.
Morgan. Yep. Carla, the drive away.
Carla, of course.
Yes.
Awesome interview.
Yes.
And yeah, you've had a lot of really fun and interesting, I think, interviews with like kind of a diverse, like a bunch of people.
Yeah, I've tried to kind of get a lot of different kind of viewpoints on things if I can help it. Yeah, I'm excited to continue going with it. It's so fun, and there's so many things to talk about.
Yeah,
like it really is. We've never really had a month where we're like, ugh, what do we? I don't know what to scrap together. Like there's always so much stuff happening here. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
In addition to talking to Sarah and Morgan about the show and like pitching it to them, I had to also pitch it to the board of trustees.
Yes.
Afterwards, and they were they were lovely about it, taking their time out of their meeting to listen, and they asked me some really good questions. And then I released the first episode, and they're like, awesome.
Yeah.
Like they loved it, which was fantastic.
The trustees are fans to this day.
They are.
We know specific ones who come in and acknowledge you for your work on it. Yeah. Any challenges?
There's a lot of challenges. I think the biggest challenge of it is, I think with any librarian that also does programming stuff. Programming is a very important part of being a librarian. Like that is in the job description is making programs. And while this isn't a program, it's still something monthly that takes a lot of work to do. And anytime you add something like that, it blows up. It's so much stuff. Because we still are library employees. And I'm not saying that in like a bad way. Obviously, it's awesome. Right. I love working at the library. It's an amazing thing. But it's just a lot on the plate because there's so much day-to-day stuff that happens, and you have to get it done pretty quick if you want to. We have so many hands back there, which is really nice, and it definitely does help.
Just severed hands.
Yeah. Like the thing from Addams Family. Yeah. But yeah, and that always helps. But like, it's still challenging. I would say that's one of them. This is like a small, but for me, it was challenging. It wasn't challenging to talk in front of a camera, but it was challenging to I guess, act in a way that like I should be acting. Because anytime I've been on a camera, it's just been like I'm doing like a bit for friends or something, so I can be like very animated and run around. And it doesn't matter if I'm like shaking or whatever. But when I'm on camera, the first episode, I'm swiveling in the chair the entire time, and I didn't know I was doing that until it was pointed out to me, and I had to make a very conscious effort to like stick my feet to the floor and like so that was just weird. And slowly, I noticed how to do things that made more sense. I talked slower, I made sure to put
Yeah,
more.
I was going to say, in my directing of you, I feel like that's been my biggest thing is trying to get you to slow down.
Yeah, exactly. Just to take pauses when there should be like cuts and things.
Yeah.
I would say that's really difficult. I mean, I don't know, just having things on the fly and also having prepared things and being able to make them both kind of seamless. I don't always succeed in that, but it is an important thing to be like, okay, I don't want this to like stand out as it's like, oh, this was clearly written and he's reading something instead of just being like, oh, he's joking or whatever. He's talking something off the dome.
Right.
When it's like a lot of it is, I mean, very carefully scripted.
Yeah.
So I'm here with the lovely
Garrett Hayes. I am a lead producer here at WMCT-TV, and I'm also one of the main producers in the post-production of the show.
Yeah, without him, we really couldn't do the show. It would look much worse on iPhone cameras in the basement of the...
That means a lot to me, so thank you for saying that.
So obviously I know on my end how the show started, and I came and did an interview and everything, and talked to my own directors. But how is it on your end with the show coming in and pitching things and
So calling back to when you had first come in and Ryan and I were sitting in the podcast area over there, I remember you coming in. You had a great idea, and I thought to myself, this is going to be really good for the library because as a lifelong Marlborough resident, for those who don't know, it was just nice to hear that something would be available to advocate and promote for the library. So, we got the paperwork done, and I remember the first day of recording, you came in, you were a little anxious, but everyone is when they're on camera for the first time.
Yeah.
But, as the years went by, with each episode each month, we have kind of established a good formula. So now, when you come in, it's like clockwork. You sit right down, you have your stack of books ready. I sit right in the control room. Sometimes Matt or Mike will be in with me, and we'll end up just starting the production of it, and we're done within, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's pretty quick now. It's pretty quick now. We were able to do a full episode and a 3-person interview in an hour once.
Yep.
So we definitely got it down.
Yeah.
So besides during the show, obviously you do a lot of, as you said, post-production. So what does that kind of entail? What do you do for that?
So when it comes to the post-production, I get the footage off of our ATEM. I go right to the computer. I put it all onto the computer. Then I end up using Premiere Pro. I'm not really much of a Final Cut kind of guy. So I use Premiere Pro, put all the files in. We have a Google Drive that I know you put all the stuff into, such as the slides that pop up on the screen, or the books, or audio, or video, or kind of anything. So we'd end up downloading that stuff. Then from there, I just kind of follow the formula we've had for maybe the past 5 or 6 episodes, where we have the intro, then we have the new sections, which is relatively new, like the donation days and all that stuff. But yeah, we throw everything in. Sometimes I might get a little spicy and I might put something funny in, just as a little joke, and the crew is always like, "Oh, we love that. That's great." So it's my little piece that goes in. Usually, if it's like a sound effect or maybe like a little graphic or something that pops up on the screen. So yeah, production-wise, it's very smooth. And it's done pretty quickly. Like, even though the show looks like it's pretty intricate, it all just kind of falls into place, and it ends up looking really good in the end, and it's a very informative episode. So
yeah, no, I think having the blueprint is such a good way to go through editing, as you said, and speeding them up too. I'm always glad when you do something like little creative, you do like a camera shake or something, like some effect. It always makes me happy to see that you're like putting yourself into the show too, because that's, I mean, this is about the library, but the library is about the community. You're part of the community.
Well, yeah. And, here at WMCT-TV, I don't mean to honk our own horn or anything, but we like to show that kind of care to our Access creators. We want to show that we care about the episodes that we have, that we do for the shows, and we want to make it a friendly, polite environment where people can just be creative, and they can make kind of whatever they want under certain conditions. You can promote, things. You can talk about kind of whatever you want under certain conditions. And yeah, so that's kind of the goal.
So talking about WMCT-TV, what's like a day in the life?
A day in the life for me?
Yeah.
Well, I wake up in the morning, I have my bowl of plain Cheerios, which my fiance makes fun of me for, but I like plain Cheerios.
I had plain Cheerios for lunch today.
Hey, listen, I think it's great. And for lunch too, that's pretty unique, I gotta admit.
Thank you.
But I'll have my Cheerios in the morning. I'll do my workouts in the morning. Then I come in for work. I sit right down. I've been doing a lot of archiving of a lot of our old content for the past few months now. So I'll be doing that in the background. It's going right now in Matt's office. And I'll see what's on the agenda for the day, whether it's working on an episode of the book drop or doing some editing for the Marlborough Mirror, which will be out soon for October. And it's just kind of that. It's seeing what's to do for the day. Sometimes I'll have a recording in the studio, like your show today. And by the end of it, you end up feeling satisfied that you have made a difference. You have made stuff that you're proud of, whether it's archiving our old content or going to a city meeting, which, I mean, those are important. And that's one of the things that I do the most here that was in the job position, was doing the city meetings. Or just going to a city event and using the gimbal camera and recording it and stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, you go out and you feel accomplished.
Yeah.
It's nice to be in the career path where you get to be creative and you're also getting paid for it and you're building a portfolio for yourself. So no, it's very rewarding work.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the day in the life for me.
Nice. Yeah, I have some friends who do public access, and they all love it. As you said, very rewarding work. You know, giving back to the community, but also being creative and putting your own spin on things for sure.
Yeah.
And with that amazing environment you just described, if other people are so inclined to have a part in this, how would you say that they get involved?
Cool. So if you want to be an access creator at our station and make some content that will go on cable, YouTube, Facebook, and the like, you can reach out to us. You can contact my personal email that I'll probably display at the bottom of the screen here, garrett@WMCT-TV.com. If you are interested in a show, you can pitch your idea to me. I'll relay it to Ryan. We'll talk about it. We'll see, if it works. If it doesn't, most stuff works, trust me. But we can't have any obviously hateful stuff, discriminatory stuff, just negative things. We don't really like airing that kind of stuff, positive things. And we love stuff that has to do with promoting things in the city as well. Usually you'll want to be a Marlborough resident if you want to utilize our access functionality. But if you've got a really great idea and you're in some way connected with the city, we can see what can work for you. But preferably you're a Marlborough resident with a bright, great idea. Just reach out to us with any questions. You can also go to our website, which I'll also display down here, www.WMCT-TV.com. You'll look on there. You'll see all the info that you need to know, as well as projects that we're doing, upcoming preparations, ideas, all that fun stuff. So, yeah.
Nice. And I guess one just clarifying question with that, because I'm curious myself. To make shows or to make content for this, do you have to come into the studio, or is there a way that they can borrow things?
Sure. So as far as being a part of the production goes, we'll have you involved with the pre-production. So planning when you're going to come in to record, what kind of stuff you'll be doing, and the alike. When it comes to the production, obviously you come in, you have a nice seat, you talk on the camera, you play on the camera, you do whatever you want to do, really, under certain conditions. And then you will hear from us about the post-production aspect, which for most of our shows, we'll have you come in, you'll do some of the editing with us, you'll get to learn a thing or two about production. And yeah, so.
Fantastic. I mean, I know having being involved with you guys for the year now, it's been a very supportive environment. I always come in with a lot of ideas, and you guys are always pretty chill with me doing whatever I want.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
So we actually also have camera equipment that you can also rent out for projects that have to do with the city or personal projects, whatever you like. The only condition is if you are using our equipment, whether it's cameras, microphones, the tripod itself, the whole kit and caboodle. You'll want to ensure that it is something that we can also air here at the studio. When you end up using one of our pieces of equipment for kind of anything, think in the back of your head, is this something that we can also use at the studio to help boost it, help promote it? But otherwise, it's perfectly free. If you're a Marlborough resident, you do have access to that stuff. So you come right in. Again, reach out to me, Garrett, at WMCT WMCT-TV.com with questions about it. And from there, we can communicate, what you need exactly. We'll get a form filled out for you. And yeah, you come in. We'll even give you a quick little tutorial on how to use the equipment. So whether you're a novice or a master with the equipment, you'll be feeling pretty confident by the time you walk out the front door. So reach out if you want to use kind of any of the equipment.
Awesome. So the public has access.
The public has access.
Interesting. But yeah, no, thank you so much thanks to everyone who works here, really. It's been amazing to see this. And it is such an amazing institution. I'm so glad that we have something that's this built up and with a beautiful new studio, too. Yeah, it's just fantastic. So thank you so much for everything you've done for us and for the community at large.
Yeah, hey, it's always a pleasure. It was nice to come on camera for once instead of being in the control room or doing the post-production. It's a nice change of pace.
Of course, we're happy to have you here.
We will be here, and we will, look forward to working on more episodes of the book drop. So
sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Back to you. Staff selections. Horror. Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix follows Lynette Tarkington and 5 other women who survived horrific massacres, gathering in a support group for over a decade to cope with their shared trauma. When one of the women is murdered and a new string of killings begins, the group realizes their past monsters have found them again. Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White is a remarkable young adult horror title that holds up well even for adult readers. It explores weaponized religion and the importance of compassion and community in the face of a dystopia through the eyes of its trans and autistic main characters. Alice Isn't Dead, a novel by Joseph Fink, is a horror book that's a retelling of the podcast by the same name. It's not necessary to know the podcast in order to enjoy the book, though. It covers a trucker's cross-country search for her supposedly dead wife and the creatures that used to be men but are not anymore, who keep popping up along the way. Lock and Key, a comic by Joe Hill. It's the story of a house with these magical keys that unlock all sorts of weird things. The family inherited the house after their father was murdered. It's very Lovecraftian. Let the Right One In by John Alsvid Lindquist is a unique form of gothic horror that centers on the relationship between a 12-year-old boy, Oscar, and a centuries-old vampire child, Eli. As Oscar endures relentless bullying, his bond with Eli deepens. The book explores themes of social isolation, the nature of humanity, and the lengths people will go for survival. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman is a social horror novel about a demonic possession epidemic that spreads through various forms of media, turning people into violent, brainwashed entities. The story follows Noah Fairchild, who travels to his childhood home to find his parents in a trance-like state. Absolution by Jeff Vandermeer. If you heeded our librarian's advice and read Annihilation, this book is both a prequel and a sequel, bending time in strange and disorienting ways. It follows the beginning of Area X and the very first expedition into it, culminating in its terrifying, mutating, and bloody ending. Ever wanted to read about a guy on drugs eating the shed musk of another man? Check this out. Advice column. All right, let's see who our unlucky caller of the day is.
There's a lot of events in the Grice room, and I was just wondering how do you get there?
If you're coming into the library on the second floor with the welcome desk, you'll turn left and head down the stairs next to glass windows. When you get down to the first floor, take a left, walk past the first floor entrance and into the hallway of the Grice room, which is through a glass door. From there, take another left and you're at the Grice community room. If you were to go straight, you'd hit the first floor bathrooms. If you're entering the library from the first floor, simply take a left and you'll see the hallway. Thank you for your question. Thank you for watching, and as I always have and always will, we will see you at the library.